Good morning. We are coming at you live on episode whatever on Master Tech to Millionaire. We are debriefing. This is a special episode because we're debriefing what we believe to be the all-time record in the history of the universe for automotive aftermarket retail repair. 9 bays, 910,000 at the Adams Automotive Woodlands location. Give it up for you guys. Yeah. We are going to go through the numbers today and kind of do a roundtable on best practices and how we did it and just debrief. It's like, I mean, you guys won the Super Bowl. Yeah. Not only did you win the Super Bowl, you beat Tom Brady by 50 points. It's like it's a world-class dominating performance. So from the top, 910,000, 95% of that revenue is going to be service, not tires. I want that to be clear. Except for $1 billion stores, but they do like 70% of their businesses in tires. 60.8% gross profit, 553,000 in gross profit, 706 cars, 1,290 average ticket. Bay efficiency, coupon. What was our bay efficiency last month?
100,000 a bay.
Okay, that's pretty good. So I believe it's the best net operating income in the world. Everybody talks about EBITDA. And, you know, Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett, Todd Hayes, they say that translates to fake money. That's not real money. NOI, real money, 300,000 at the bottom. That's with big rent. We got $25,000 rent. We got big corporate. We got big recruiting. We got big auto shop answers. We got big technician training. We got big call center. Mm-hmm. We think about that, and we still put a ton of money into the bottom line. I don't think I've ever heard of a store in the history of the world doing 300K to the bottom. Give it up for you guys. So, formula, how do you do that? Going around the horn, JT, you got 209 tickets, $1,600 average ticket, a Ferrari, 61%. You got Big Cat, 218 tickets, $1,500 average ticket, 64%. You got Sweet Lou, 180K, 163 tickets, 1,100 average ticket, 66%, and by far the best customer service. Amen. Can I get an amen?
Amen on that. Great job, William.
And you got Donnie touching $900,000 worth of cars at the Speed Rack, Speed of Service, Octodon. He does everything. Give it up for Donnie. You got Alex touching all the fleet tickets and just freaking making it happen, being part of the team. One more time for Alex. All right, so we'll hear from everybody on the pod, but I guess we'll start with Coupon. You ran this store for 2 years and still kind of you're still kind of daddy at this shop. So
always daddy.
You want to just give me your thoughts? Take it easy. Big daddy. You want to give me your thoughts on 2025 it did 7 million. Well, 6.99. You did. I had to do it to you. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're going for 7 million.
Hey, round up.
You did 7 million with 1.2 to the bottom. That's like 16% or something. And we learned from Tommy Mello, revenues for vanity, profit is for sanity. Todd Hayes, gross without net is gross. Mm-hmm. 2025 was a record year, but 2026 is going to literally destroy that. So any thoughts on just the difference? People, profitability, the whole deal?
Yeah, well, I know I was chasing 700K in revenue per month. With that, I started adding more people. Okay. And I started flooding our store with guys that are B players. And once I realized, I think it was July of 25, you and I, or 24, that B players were killing us. We went full throttle into A players only. We went lean. This is our team right here. Very, for 900, 800 cars, it's very short staff, but we do still give great service, so we're not understaffed. But when you have A players only, I realized our ticket averages went way up. It went from, I want to say, when I first started, we were in the 700K range, or 700 ticket average, to now we did $1,290 in ticket average. I'm not a loser, and I don't like being a second, right? Like, so it's like, when people are beating me, I take it very personal. It's the only stress in my life is the fear of losing. And if you ask these guys, I'll walk in, we literally can do 910,000 in revenue. In the end of the night, I'm like, all right, guys, we should have done 950. It's like that's how our mindset is. I remember when we did, what was it, 683? Yeah. And that was a little while back, but we wanted 700 really bad. I think we were waiting on a Maserati. Yeah. And great. Not one. That's what I love this team so much about is it's all winners. They all want the same thing. Is no one said bye to each other that night. And it was a record month. You guys remember that? Yeah. It's like no one cared about 683. Everyone cared about the 700. But I would say the biggest part of the net is we were doing a lot of high revenue, but the net was in the 16% range. And I want to be 20, 25, 30. I wanted 20 at the time because I was like 20 just sounded better, and so this year our goal has been, 20, 25. And now that I see the 900 at 30% profit, that's the new goal. Anything less than that's a loss, and it's and we'll all hear about it, so I don't know. I just think knowing your team, having A players is definitely, the people is the biggest thing. I would say is the way that I would think is the biggest change is getting actual A players.
So you said I'm not a loser.
Yeah,
that part. Look, there's a winners like to win and winners like to be around winners. People say, you might say we take it too seriously. And I've had people ask me in interviews about work-life balance and what's the time off and what's the whole thing. It's like, we believe in our company that winning is intoxicating and it's like the thing that gets you going in the morning. And I think there's a really successful guy named Elon Musk, if you've ever heard of him. He says that A players hate being around fuzzy thinkers.
Mm-hmm.
And I see Felix nodding his head. So Felix, you've been doing this 15 years or however long.
Yes, sir.
What do you feel like that means in your head? Like, you've been doing this a long time. You've seen a lot of probably B players come through our company, and there's no B players in the building right now.
Correct.
What do you think the difference is when you can just freaking move and fly around the shop versus having to kind of move through the friction of having maybe B players on the team?
No, I mean, it's a huge difference, like night and day, right? So like leaps and bounds. So I listened to that podcast and he probably repeats in a lot of his books, but we definitely did listen to it. But I think that all these guys in this room are catching the long ball or they're taking the kickoff to the house, So what I mean by that is for me, the way I interpret it is as no fuzzy thinkers, clear direction, concise. We all know what the goal is. We all know where we want to be. Being off yesterday, I know that Joe and William are here because they're going to put up 30K.
Mm-hmm.
Easy, right? So we all know which way we're going. We all know the goal, and I like the direction, and that stems from the top. Right? Todd Hayes, you, and then definitely Mike, not making that. No fuzziness at all with that.
Mm-hmm.
This is the goal. This is what we're doing. This is where we're going. If you can't do it, check, please. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's it like working for Mike?
Oh,
He's pretty easy on you guys, I think.
yeah. Working for Mikey is it's you don't use the term bittersweet, but it's
That's the ultimate compliment. What's it like working for Mike?
yeah. So I mean, I remember when he started, and then I remember when I came here from our location, and it's just been a rocket ship ever since. We're constantly chasing the nugget, we're constantly grinding after it. And, he pushes. But he loves too, man. And like Todd Hayes is saying, is like polishing the crown,
Mm-hmm.
which is us as a whole, as, Auto Hospitality Group. But, he it's not lost on us that we're his gems in his crown. Like, then he reminds us of that. So he expects a lot. He demands a lot. He won't settle for less than a lot. But he gives us all back personally, probably. Speaking for me, and everyone agreed 100 times.
So demands, he's relentlessly demanding, but he'll die for you. Pretty much. Certainly. Y'all have any thoughts on work for Q-Fine? Or Todd? Or anybody?
I got something.
Yeah, go for it.
So obviously, Q, he's a go-getter, with his background, playing sports. I have a sports background as well. He sees the serious potential with this team. So he's chasing the championship. We're trying to, get there as well, win the championship. So, he's always going to motivate. He's always going to push because he knows what we're capable of doing. So, and it's a good feeling when you have, a leader here that, is pushing the team to get to levels that the company has never gotten to, right? In terms of what we have here in the shop. So, and that's motivating in itself. So when I see him, right there on the front line, we're there right there with them to make stuff happen and to get to those goals that we need to get to and accomplish what we need to accomplish as a team. So I think that, that's a beautiful attribute to have right there. And, obviously, when you see that, it's like, you got to follow, dude, you know, and in turn, we're going to push for him. He's going to push for us, and we're going to make things happen. That's what it's all about.
Let's freaking go. So, okay. So you guys are super involved in our Courtside training program, right? Which I've actually never been to because my boss, Todd Hayes, is making me work every weekend at Key to Key. Love you, Todd. No, I'm kidding. No, but I really want to be here. I've heard nothing but crazy feedback of how excellent the training is. And part of it's just being in the trenches. So you guys do a hammer panel every month, right? And for those of you that aren't inclined or aren't in the loop, it's basically the owners that have come through Courtside and they've come through Key to Key multiple times, probably by the time they get here, they're kind of asking you guys questions and picking your brain. Is there anything that sticks out to you guys probably 6 months into it? Any common themes that these owners ask you guys every month? What are they trying to learn when they come through?
I mean, I see it as the question that we get asked every single Courtside is, how do we do it? You know, how do we, get to these numbers? How do we work as a team, as a whole? And I mean, really, at the end of the day, is just doing it, just working as a team. You know, I mean, we're going to have situations where we get into it, right? We're here 15 hours a day. We have a lot of, egos, a lot of ego, we're all alphas at the end of the day, but it's just, when we do get into our little, beefs or whatever, or back and forth nonsense, we get past that and then come back together as a team. So that's really what it's about, is just coming back together as a team and knowing what we need to accomplish. Because if we're not getting back together as a team or we're not accomplishing what we need to, then it becomes more of a serious situation at that point, So now we got to reevaluate.
Bro, you're hilarious. He said, well, the main question is, how do we do it? And we just do it. It's like Michael Jordan, like, hey Shaq, how do you dunk? How do you break the backboard? I'll just do it. Man, but okay, so that's something we talk about all the time in training and in our management meetings. Is like, I hear this all the time from people. They're like, what's the hardest decision you've ever had to make running a business? And it's like, man, we had to fire our top sales guy because they were bad for company culture. I hear that all the time. And I'm like, dude, that's terrible. You just couldn't manage them. Like you said it, you're an alpha and you're in a room full of other people that are top performers. And guess what happens when you're a top performer? You have a huge ego and you're the best and you cause problems. Like the freaking Bulls, Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan. You think those guys are easy to manage? Do you think that Antonio Brown or Rob Gronkowski's at the club at 3 a.m. And I'm not glorifying that, but I'm saying when you're the best of the best, I think it's generally difficult for B player managers or B player owners. And let's be honest, a lot of owners are B players to kind of corral that and point them in the right direction. I think Coupon, you have a superpower of being able to do that. Mm-hmm. And it's, what's your word? Step on throats?
Yeah.
I think you've got a particular superpower of being able to kind of extract that talent out of people and get them rowing in the right direction. So do you have any thoughts on that? How's that possible? How do you keep these guys in the lane if they're not?
Well, you can't keep them in their lane, right? That's the first thing people do is we did an exercise a few years ago where I saw it online where you just go up to a guy, you don't say anything, and you put his hands up and you push each other.
Got it.
Right. And I've always learned if you push a guy and you keep them in a box, they always push back. So one, you have to let these guys learn from their mistakes. That's how you're going to get them to develop faster. Right. Also, I believe I've been on a high level sports teams. They're all crazy. They're all crazy. No one wins without crazy people. Even the Spurs, we all think on the court, they're the nicest team in the world, but they had off-court scandals, right? So there is, every great sports championship team is always having those issues. When it comes in here, I let these guys, they've argued and stuff, but if you look at 3 years ago to now, they're completely different people, so I try not to interfere every single time with them, right? And I enjoy it. I think it's kind of fun. Winning is fun at the end of the day. They're natural born winners. I didn't teach these guys how to win. These guys came in as winners. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I would say that definitely do not get rid of them. You know, that's I mean, people have, and thank you everyone that did that for me. You know, so it's but it's like these are great guys, right? And you're missing out on more than just sales guys that work for you. You know, we're one team that all understand at the end of the day that winning, as Todd says, winning is fun is the most important thing. So don't get rid of these guys. I know we talked in Courtside. I forgot what the name of the person, but he was going to get rid of his best person. And Charlie talked to him about it. And I was like, those are his numbers?
Yeah.
Maybe just hold off for a couple months. And and after he ended up keeping them in record month in a row, you know, with that guy as their leading sales guy, you know. And so I've heard, I don't know if I'm supposed to say him, Gary Vee say, he always says online, I see on TikTok, get rid of your toxic people, get rid of your guys that create cancer. You know, I look at it, well, I'm the doctor. I'm gonna eliminate the cancer is what I'm gonna do.
There you go.
I'm gonna help them overcome it, you know, and beat cancer. So all my guys are in remission. You know? Yeah, correct. Yeah, 100%. So that's how I look at it.
100%, dude. And Todd, I've watched Todd has this superpower where he's like, just talk to him. Like, you're telling me he's a top sales guy and he's causing cancer in the shop. Have you talked to him? No. It's like, it's very simple. Todd is direct, is extremely direct. And I think he taught you that. He taught me that. I think you guys have probably all experienced. I know for a fact you've experienced it. I know you've experienced that. Like Todd is going to tell you exactly what he needs out of you. And he's going to basically say, look, I'm going to provide a workplace where you can make a lot of money and take care of your family and win and be on a winning team. But we expect a lot and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. And if there's an issue, we're going to talk about it, because the worst thing you can do is just let it fester and it's like a resentment bomb and then people hate each other and then it's like this nightmare. So, let's get into like more of the core pillars of the concept for like how we kind of drive that sort of revenue. Something we talk a lot about in training is our shop tour, kind of building the rapport, building a relationship with the customer. A lot of people think the sale is building the ticket and selling the repair, but it's really not. It's really finding a relationship with the customer. And I think, Lou, you're probably one of the best in the business at figuring out the objections ahead of time, identifying the customer's pain, building that relationship. I've watched you turn like no chance tickets into like 8,000.
Yeah.
And I think everybody here can agree that the random jumbo, Hollywood's really good at that. David, you know, you're one of the best at doing that. So how do you feel? Would you say that I'm accurate in saying that? And then how do you approach the shop tour with these customers?
Yeah, I love a shop tour. I mean, because it really allows you to, you know, brag about your team, brag about the company, you know, just really share the passion and why we come here every day motivated. So I love a shop tour for that. And not only that, when I do a shop tour, it's, you know, like I said, bragging about my team. I get to see this beautiful face, big smiles. I get to see that beautiful man, big smiles, right? I get to see Donnie. I get to see everybody. So I brag about everybody, you know. And so that's what I love the most about a shop tour, because everybody's big smiles and everybody just turns on that switch when they need to. And then I also like a shop tour because it allows you to understand the customer, understand where they're going with the vehicle, understand what it's for, what their plans are for. You know, all those exploratory questions really help you, you know, establish a good relationship in that 10-minute shop tour. And at the end of the day, when it comes to starting the process and what we do, you know, when I make that first phone call, it's so easy, it's seamless, you know, because they understand it. We're on the same page, and I understand exactly what they need to hear. So when it comes to objectives, I mean, I really don't have any in those moments, because I'm hitting every bullseye, you know, as they come, depending on the conversation and just maneuvering how I need to. So I love a shop tour because it really just allows you to understand the customer and what they want out of their vehicle. And then with the service and the team and the bragging rights and everything that we have here, it just makes everything super easy.
So you said 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So you're talking to the customer for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I think most amateurs on the shop tour, they just like talk 90% of the time, and they kind of like get the brochure out.
Yeah, no.
And I think you're really good at, I try to train our team, like you're trying to ask, like you said, exploratory questions, identify the pain. So 10 minutes, what are you talking about for 10 minutes? How do you?
I ask personal questions. I want to know where where were they going before? How long were they there? Are they new to the area? You know, this vehicle, how long have you had it? You know, what's your history with the vehicle? Even when they start talking about other shops, well, what was going on there? What were the issues with these other, locations? Why do you want to keep this vehicle another 5 to 10 years? Why do you want to get rid of it in a year? What's wrong? What's the problem? So, I mean, it takes a good 10 minutes to go through all that. And then I just like to hear them. A lot of times you do a shop tour, you're talking. So I just ask the right questions and let them talk. And then before you know it, it goes from like this at the counter to big smiles and thanking you. And before you know it, the whole team reads me. They know when I'm doing they know when that shop tour is flowing. So before you know it, Donnie has the shuttle at the drive, and so he knows I'm about to lead him right to that shuttle and get him home. So, I mean, it just allows you to allow the customer to open up, and then that's your job to take in all that information and then help that customer provide that service. And that's why a shop tour is amazing. It's a superpower. Without that, that's the process. To me, that's the first step.
I don't even know if me and you have explicitly talked about it, but you kind of just highlighted exactly what my thesis is. I talked to Champ Warren on a previous podcast about identifying the customer pain.
Yeah.
And in our world, you said it. What shop have they been going to?
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Yeah.
Because he says that amateur salespeople sell and pros solve.
Yes.
And I'm trying to identify your pain. So each customer might have a different pain point. It might be price, it might be warranty, it might be quality of the service, it might be speed.
Yeah.
Customers want speed.
Mm-hmm.
It might be, their daughter's going to College Station and they need it in tip-top shape, and they need this car to get to and from work. And so when we get a new customer, we understand that they didn't just come in because we sent them a mailer. A good customer's probably been taking their car somewhere for like 10, 20 years or whatever, or the dealer. And I've got to figure out, why did you fire that last shop? You fired the last provider, and there's got to be a reason. So we've got to identify the pain, basically. Why did they fire their last shop? Was it the price? Was it the time? Was it the technician took advantage of their daughter's car, or they relied to their wife? But what was the pain? And then what I've heard from other professional salespeople is you ask them like, oh man, is there anything that company could have done to make it right?
Yeah.
And you literally are extracting the customer. You might not even know you're doing this, but this is why you're so good at it, is you're literally trying to extract the exact way that the customer needs to be closed out of them.
Exactly.
It's like, why did you fire that last shop, and how could they have closed you?
Right. That's exactly what
you're asking them.
That's exactly what it is.
Write it down, and then you said it, you have no objections, because you are feeding that data back into the script. It's like, we're going to get this taken care of for you. Your daughter's going to be safe on the road back to College Station. I'll call you with an update when the parts get here. Versus, are you sitting down? It's going to be really bad.
Yes, exactly. Like a throw punch or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm really good at that. Big Cat, I think you're one of the best in the business at the meet and greet and having the big smile. Do you have any thought? You love the shop tour too. You love. I got a story out there, so I just thought about it. But you love abusing me.
Yeah, every chance I get.
If I'm ever in the shop, you're leveraging me.
Correct.
Customer. So, any thoughts on the shop tour?
Yeah, love the shop tour. Shop tour, new customer induction. Come to Courtside. We're going to teach you personally. You can go one-on-one with me, William, and all these guys, but shameless plug. But
True.
The shop tour, new customer induction, I love it, and done right. Like William said, the sales are already there.
Mm-hmm.
The sales are there. Extracting data, which we do all the time, and giving back into them. I lay it right down in front of them. It's so easy. And William has taught me so much about the shop tour, rounding the bases, and then setting up the next call.
Yes.
And layering all that together. It's beautiful. And when Joe Adams or any of the owners are in the shop, I use Joe Adams all the time on the shop tour, because everyone loves to, they love to know. They love to know the boss. They love to know the boss. They love to know I'm just a mouthpiece, right? But they love to know the people in case it goes bad, right? So they're anticipating it to go bad.
Yeah.
So I understand the technicians. I introduce them to the GMP. And when Joe Adams is in the shop, I always grab him and say, "Let me introduce you to Mr. Joe Adams himself. Here he is." And so Joe Adams comes in, big smile, great hair, right? Let us, great, it's my parents' company. I'm just, here. Let me know if Big Cat gives you a hard time. And then I say, okay, thank you. That'll be $4,684.
Yeah.
Right. And they're like, okay, where do I sign? So that's the story that he's talking about. But new customer induction, shop tours, it's just, if you can buy into those, right? Because people are going to buy into you. It makes your job so much easier. I don't want to work any harder. I don't want to work any harder.
I think it's 80% of the sale, man.
Yeah.
I think that building that rapport, that 5 minutes is 80% of the sale. So the story he's talking about is so funny. This is probably 3 years ago at this point. You're talking to this customer, and he's like an older guy, and I thought you'd already sold it.
Yeah.
And you brought me into the waiting room, and you're like, we're chopping it up and we're talking. And then in the middle of our conversation with this customer, you literally step in between me and the customer. Like, it's like you boxed me out. And I was like, oh, I like realized what was happening. And you're like, so anyway, it's going to be $4,162. The parts are on the way. And I backed up, and he was like, okay, yeah, go ahead and get started on it. I was like, you just abused me. I thought this was a genuine relationship.
Got to go for the close, right?
Oh my gosh. Man, let's keep moving around, baby. So, Donnie Davis, dude.
Yes, sir.
Let's give it up for Donnie Davis. I remember seeing Mike, man, work ethic, what a stud. I think speed of service is like one of the key pillars of the concept, and PMI in these cars super fast. I think we can all agree that the Octodon is one of the best in the business at keeping the factory moving. And the general service techs we have here. Give it up for our GSs, man. Donnie, how important is speed of service in the shop? 900K out of 9 bays is a joke.
It's everything.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, we constantly train the GSs. We're always, focusing on bay efficiency. So it's everything. It really is. To be able to push 900 out of 8 bays, essentially, because we have the speed rack and the alignment rack, we have to be precise on everything that we do.
Yeah, and I'm kind of making fun of, I don't want to make fun of the industry. That's not what I'm trying to do. But we believe the industry's got kind of a ton of funky KPIs that allows them to manage shops from a spreadsheet. They look at bay efficiency, effective labor rate. They look at just all sorts of stuff that we don't really focus on. We really only focus on revenue, gross profit, net operating income, and then we look at car count and ticket average. And when people ask us what our bay efficiency is, we just basically say, we don't know, 100,000 a bay. And this is like, and we used to say that because of Charlie doing 400,000 out of 4 bays, but now you guys get to brag about doing 900,000 out of 9 bays. So 4 cars an hour, $1,000 ticket average, $40,000 a day. Y'all actually did 37,800 for the last 20 days in a row on average, which is crazy. Mm-hmm. So, Donnie, a little bit more color on what does your job actually look like? Like, the speed rack is one of the hardest parts to implement after training. Like, owners are like, how do I anybody can go home and just start answering the phone and saying yes. Anybody can start reading ChatGPT to customers and selling jobs with positive and negative selling. Anybody can take good pictures and videos, but for some reason, the speed rack is very difficult to implement because they're so used to dispatching it to technicians. Just some more color on what's it like to PMI cars super fast, and how does your workflow look every day?
So more color on that. I mean, essentially no car bypasses speed rack, right?
Yeah.
Everything hits bay 1 or bay 2, depending on, what type of vehicle it is. And, we just constantly train on it. That's all it is. We train on what to look for. We know what cars have which problems. So it's pretty much that.
Yeah, that's actually so funny. Like, Todd always makes a joke. He's like, "This is not hard."
No,
he's like, you open the hood and you look at it.
Yeah,
and then you lift it up to a mid-rise and you look at it. And then you lift it up to a full rise and you look at it. And the more you do it, it does get easy. It's like, it's the cars are predictable. A 3.6 liter Jeep has the same with an oil leak. Mm-hmm. We all know what that's going to be. The cars are predictable. They come in off the same factory floor. They break in the same way. And the more you do it, the more efficient you get. And another thing you said is every car goes through the speed rack every single time. We had a car here like a year or 2 ago that had just left the day before. So what do we do?
PMI.
We always PMI. There was they bought tires and they came back the next day to install them. And we re-PMI the car so that we have no decision fatigue, to not have to think about it. And the axle was completely busted. $1,900. Was this your ticket?
Yeah, it was a Range Rover.
No, it was that. Yeah, Range
Rover.
And it was it was a $1,900 ticket. And we asked the customer, we're like, man, how did we miss that on the PMI yesterday? We asked the customer, like, hey, did you hit anything in the road? And sure enough, she had busted up a curb. And she was like, yeah, I think I hit a curb going really fast. And the point is, if we wouldn't have PMI'd that car because we were lazy and we said, oh, it was just in here yesterday, or it's got a low mileage or whatever, we would have missed a safety concern on the customer's car. And the money is just a byproduct of actually running the process. So man, a PMI in cars, it's really not that hard. You just have to train on it every single day. Every car goes through the speed rack, whether it's a check engine light or a tire pressure check. It's got to go through the speed rack. I'm going to take all my pictures and videos, and then I'm going to move it to the parking lot to the technician. That's it. Wow, it's actually not that hard. That's crazy. Okay, next, Big Cat. How important is the back of the house? I mean, our techs are making a lot of money in this shop, and there's a lot of good ones, and they are posting big hours. How important is it to have good techs to flush a swamp?
There are things. So when we were last month running the 900K, I was talking to Joe because we're always just, floating ideas and, being efficient and dying. I came up with a slogan that says, I'm not slogan, but it's like, man, the commitment from the back of the house has to match the commitment of the front. Mm-hmm. It has to, right? Because super efficient to get everything done is not just these hammer guys up front. They have to be able to produce and push it out. So having the back of the house that is bought in to you, the dream, the vision, right? It really truly is unlimited hours. As long as they all have keys, as long as they want to be here, the doors are open, the lights are on, the AC's pumping. But understanding their strengths and weaknesses is also very, very important, right? And optimizing every bay and like I said, just talking to them.
Yeah.
Mikey Quinn does that really great. He's probably better to answer that question, but just talking to him when he comes in, smiling, just, man, hey, how you doing? Right? We're talking about caring and feeding into them, and then it's all hands on deck, and they push. But you have to have the back house that has to match the commitment. The same when you guys do check mark, question mark, the same mentality about A players, B players. It has to be the same for the back. Mm-hmm. It has to be. You have to have your lead horses, right? And then there's a team that you have to have people in strategic positions to win, and the money's all going to fall in line.
This is something I've talked to Glenn Piccolo about a lot, is he used to kind of fall victim to like, oh, we have 50 bays, like we can afford to kind of have maybe some slower technicians as long as the work is good. And, we've kind of switched our philosophy on that. Having a hungry technician who needs to be fed and wants to get that work out, that really pushes the envelope. So I want to talk to you, Q-Fine, about, you've got this maniacal sense of urgency to push the technicians to get work out as fast as possible. Which I really think, like, when the technicians are putting pressure on the front of the house, the front of the house, or not pressure, when the technicians are open for business, I think you guys sell better because you're like, oh, absolutely, we get this done today. Absolutely, my technician's wide open. Versus if they're slow and jammed up and backed up, you just don't have that confidence that the customer's going to get their car back this week. So Q-Fine, how do you push the techs to like keep working? Like they are. Like you push them as well. And it's not like in a cracking whip way. It's in a like, you stay on them to make sure that they're being maximum productive. Because there's nothing worse than a technician who doesn't really have organizational skills or good work ethic, and have a pay period and then they're complaining about their hours. And it's like, really, the parts were here, we sold a lot of work. We sold 900,000. You got low hours. Like, what is it? So how do you kind of apply the pressure to the back of the house in a healthy way?
Well, when I get here, every time I see them, I go say hello to them, and I see where they're at with things. So you could probably talk to a lot of your technicians in the shop and they don't know what's going on with the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tickets they have, right? They just know that they're working on one and they got to finish it. Okay. So I'll typically go there, see what they got, see where their parts are at for them. And then I'll manage their workflow. Because technicians are not going to manage their workflow. They can manage one car out of their shops. It's easy. You just have one car, but at the end of the day, I mean, one of our top tech will have 12 cars. Like how is he supposed to know that which car goes out next? So I manage that for him. I do have to give a shout out to Todd Hayes.
Big O.
We did get AC last month. We had a full month of AC, $900,000. We forget up front that we're sitting in air conditioning. Yeah, it's mentally draining, but we forget that these guys are sitting in 105-degree weather.
Crazy.
I mean, it's very, very difficult. Do yard work for an hour at your house on the weekend and see how tired you are. So I think that was a major game changer for us as well. So thank you for that. But it's really managing. They need as much attention as the front of the house.
Yeah.
You can't just throw them back here and act like they're just, your laborers. They're not laborers. It's, everyone's very important. And so we need each other, but these guys can't manage the flow up front. I'll get with them, check on their tickets, and then I'll go to the back and see where we're at with things, because communication from them to the front is not always the best. So if you're not managing them as well, you just kind of lose control. And like what you said, these guys now, they can't sell with passion because they don't know. Like if they see 7 keys on someone's box and they got to sell struts and fluids, they're like, man, I don't know. Well, this technician's he's got 8 jobs ahead of that, you know, and they can't really sell it and say, I can get it out today. You know, now we're giving loaners away when you don't need to, you know, but you got to treat them back just like the front, you know, and manage them together.
100%. Yeah, man. You're a good technician. Like they have to work. People say like, what's more important than the salesperson or the technician? And I always lean like, well, nothing happens if you don't sell anything. I don't care how good of a technician you are, but man, they work together, and a really quality technician influences the quality of a salesperson 100%. All right, let's keep moving.
Yeah. What do you want to say though? Like, imagine you selling all the work and you don't have any technicians to get it out.
Yeah, it is.
Like, it doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the day, everyone's job is when you're doing, I'm telling like when you're doing $900,000 in a shop this size, every position is so freaking important.
Yeah.
Like at the highest level, not just, you can't have at 900K, you can't have one guy off his game all month long.
Yeah.
Like everyone has to be on their game at the highest level. And that's how you win.
Dude, 900K is so stupid.
Let me just add something to that real quickly, because the theme and the topic about the fuzzy thinking, and you said, and I was thinking about like Joe or myself or William. Joe can sell anything. He can sell anything. We always talk about 10x if he has a superstar technician behind him. And so that's what we're talking about, right? Just the confidence to step into that and then crank it over the field, you know, and to give it everything you got. When you know that you have an A-player technician that's going to fix the Ferrari, that's going to fix the Maserati, that's going to put the struts on the GMC, that just gives your confidence at a whole new level.
What do you mean 10x?
Well, I mean, you're going to increase the sales, right? You're going to step into with full confidence of that sale, knowing I can get this done today. I can fix your 550 Ferrari. It's going to be completely right. I'm going to do the timing. This is what we're going to do it. And it just, as opposed to going in and, you know, limp wristed or, you know, not standing up during the phone call, or, you know, not speaking with your chest out, or not having, you know, bass and passing and inflection in your voice, just knowing exactly what you're talking about, right?
So we're going to go ahead and bleep out the part about the Ferrari. So Todd, don't listen to that part. But these guys did 900K, so players get privilege. Dude, 900K is so stupid. I just keep thinking about that. Like, that's 300,000 to the bottom. That's, you know, I hear it in the industry, they teach like 100,000, 10% to the bottom. That's 10,000 a month. We can do that unlimited. That'd be like 30 of those stores. That'd be like doing 3 million out of 30 stores and having a terrible company culture, or you could just have a ton of A players. That is so satisfying.
Well,
so that's crazy.
And I love that you're saying this, and let me just like the people, because I don't want people to just think, oh, this store, tons of cars. We had a $1,300 ticket average, right, at a high profit. So they didn't just show up to work and just go through the motions. They came into work to win. All of them came on their day off to win. All of our technicians showed up in the last week on their days off to win. So it's not a front of the house thing. It's not just a back of the house thing. It's everyone's literally showing up because everyone has the same goal, and that's to win. Right. And I mean, I don't know if we have, how many people we got here? 16, 16 total people. 13 of them came in on their day off. Right. That's incredible. And it wasn't mandatory. We didn't even ask half of the guys to come in. They just showed up. That's how important winning is. But you don't get 900K and $300,000 net profit by just going through the motions and showing up to work. These guys all want to win. And that's why you need guys that are A players, front and back, like Felix was saying.
Dude, I was talking about on an interview yesterday, on a phone interview.
Yeah.
And I was like, what have you heard about our company? And he's like, well, I don't want to say like overworked. I don't know, but like I've heard there's like not really like work-life balance. And I'm like, and I'm just like, you're right. Like you are right. Like that is true, but it's the Patriots. Like one, we pay a lot of money and we, you know, have to make a lot of money to be able to pay a lot of money. But at the end of the day, what keeps people going for a career? It's winning. Like Tom Brady would give anything to go back out on the field and play at the highest level and win again. And dude, like Tom Brady does not have work-life balance. Like he just doesn't. And that's not like a bad thing. If you're out there saying, man, dude, I don't know if I want to work that much, like then that's fine. But the expectation is for to be the all-time best in the world. Think about that. The people in this room, that is so crazy. I get chills thinking about it. All-time best in the world at what you do. work-life balance. The two do not go hand in hand. You think Tiger Woods has work-life balance, or do you think he's freaking grinding range balls and hitting putts till midnight? You know, like that's it. And so you can't expect an outsized return with the middle of the fairway, like with the middle of the road. And like you have to, like Arnold Schwarzenegger is not becoming who he is by working out 2 times a week. And that's it. And so when I was talking to him, I was like, you're right. Like that's probably not the major selling point of our company, but you're working 40 hours a week, hating your life. And I'm working 60 to 100 hours a week, having the time of my life because I'm winning and it doesn't feel like work. And yes, we work a lot of hours, but at the end of the day, I feel incredibly obligated to pass on the resources that my family has to people in our company and in our community. And winning changes your family's life. And I think you guys could probably attest to that. I think there's people in this room that it changes your family's life. I've seen people show me pictures of their kids at this store, at other store. I know I've seen young people come into our business and they grow, dude. I was listening to Cliff's podcast the other day. He's like, people from where I'm from don't get opportunities like this. And you get a picture of him with the big key in front of his house. You know, and like that is just the coolest thing in the world. And you don't get that from 35 hours a week part-time gig. Like it just nothing like, if you can figure out how to do that, then that's great. But what I'm trying to say is we care so deeply about the work because we know that the work produces opportunities for people and opportunities for people to grow. And you have to have an opportunity for somebody to grow to get somebody like you guys in the room. Otherwise, you just go work at a national chain and you pull a shift for 15 years. And what did you even learn? You got a salary for 15 years and then nothing's changed. Or you get to work here, kill it, work a ton of hours, but have a lot of fun, make a lot of money. And then a year, 2 years, 10 years goes by and you literally are learning from Todd Hayes. From Mike Quinn, from our team. So
90% of the guys last month had their biggest paychecks of their lives.
Of their life, yeah.
Like significantly bigger. And I couldn't be happier for them, right? Because it obviously paid off. But I mean, when I'm looking at the payroll and I'm like, wow, that's a lot of money. And I'm so happy, because now these guys can go, maybe go on a little vacation or whatever they want to do with their family. The families, I'm sure, are happy too. Mine was. But it's not like, oh, you're having a little bit of overtime. You can't work. It's like, take that overtime, let's get 900, because we're going to make more, so I was very happy. I'm still happy.
Even more importantly, though, it's a psychology of winning.
Yeah.
It's like, I was talking to a general service technician at the Blaylock location the other day, and he's a young guy, and everybody in the industry knows general service technicians are entry level, hourly paid. They're not your highest paid people in the shop. And he's busting tail. And I'm like, what do you like work? Why do you work so hard? Like, why do you like working here? What's your favorite thing? Is there anything we can do better? He says, honestly, not really. Everybody's just on it here. We're here to win. And it's like that change, like a guy who's been treated like garbage, changing oil, getting paid nothing for some national chain, and he's a number, and he somehow ends up in our company by the grace of God. And then 6 months goes by and he's like, we killed it today. Like that, he's going home to his family. He's like, dude, we killed it. We did 40,000. Like that, literally. And I've watched it change people where it's like, damn, working is fun. Dang, I'm finding community in my career. I'm finding community at the people at work. And it's like the saying goes, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. If you hang around with 4 losers, you're going to be the 5th. If you hang around with 4 millionaires, you're going to be the 5th. And I think just being in a community where people are on it, they care about their career, they care about their family, they don't get into trouble, and you win every day, just fundamentally changes your marriage at home. It changes your life, and it changes your perspective on who you are. And so I'm just really passionate about that. You guys are winners. It's not a work-life balance deal, though. To have an outsized return, Todd talks about generational wealth. It's not the lottery. It's like we put a lot of work in. We have super high expectations, but man, we have a lot of fun, and I really think it changes people's lives. So I'll get off my soapbox. We'll clap one more time down there. I've got clusters coming in, but I want to wrap up with a couple more things, key pillars of the concept. I want to talk about second voice and then invoice review, and then we'll wrap it up. JT, second voice, dude. I want to tell a story. Actually, I've been talking for a while. You guys, I think, second voiced turnover tag teamed more this last month than ever. If I had to guess, you guys have any thoughts on that? You can start.
So, yeah, I mean, as far as the second voice, well, one, strategizing the ticket first initially and just kind of coming up with the plan. Now, if that advisor, for whatever reason, can't get the customer to authorize, and then we, soft retreat, second voice, extremely important just because the power of the second voice. In terms of, you were talking about psychological, right? And in a customer's mind, if they're hearing it from one person, then hearing it from a second person, they know the severity of what needs to be done, right? They know, hey, that control arm, that ball joint's about to pop out, it needs to be done, So I think that there's a lot of power in that second voice, not to mention, you have a powerful salesperson, right, that comes in, and then you have a second powerful salesperson that comes in to try to convince the customer to get the repair done. I mean, just that in itself is what always puts that customer in saying yes. I mean, that's how I look at it. It's one of those things that, just the power of the second voice, which I don't want to say I never really believed in it, but after seeing it in action so many times, now I'm a strong believer in it, because it's just extremely important. And everybody has their different sales tactics and so forth. So for the most part, yeah, every time we've tag team a job, I mean, 95% of the time we're closing the deal. I mean, I know Donnie, he's great at tag teaming himself. I mean, Felix, he's a star at that. I've tag teamed a number of tickets for William and vice versa. So, I mean, we have a powerful sales team here. So if one guy can't close the deal, more likely that other guy is. That's just how it is.
Like pass the ball.
Correct.
Yeah. It's. I think sometimes customers just want to do a dance too. They just want to dance. They just want to go home and feel like they got a good deal, or like they got, they made us work for it. And I'll point to this story from last month. I think it was the most important sale of the month because it painted a picture for me of Big Cat was selling a $4,000 job, and the customer was like, man, $3,000. That's it. And it's like the worst thing you can do is just drop your pants. That's what we call it. Like just, all right, man, let's get it done. Cause you hear 3,000, you still got some good gross profit and you want to get the deal done.
Correct.
It's rack and pinion, it's gravy, whatever. But Felix was about to go back in there, and I watched you work that deal. I was like, this is his deal. I thought it was the best thing for that ticket for you to go back in there. But Cupine forced you. I watched it. I was crazy.
Yeah.
He literally forced you to pass the ball to JT. And JT, I think you got the deal for $3,600.
Yeah.
It was like a laydown, right?
Yeah, I went in for the slam dunk, man. Well, one, it's all about recognizing your team, right? And Keys mentioned that, I can tell you a number of times. So in addition to following Todd's process, right? It's a proven process time and time and time again. So when he said, dude, go ahead, second swing that, I knew what I had to do. Instead of, dropping it $1,000 or whatever, we're going to cut a customer a deal always. That's what we're here for, right? Family owned and operated. We're here to take care of our customers. But I know I'm going to go in with severe, huge confidence and close that deal. And that's something that, obviously Q recognized that needed to be done. And yeah, went in there, chopped it up with the guy for a little bit, and closed the deal on that. And he was, I mean, you had even mentioned that he left laughing and giggling. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. He's like, thank y'all, man. Appreciate it. I'm in the lower, it's like, but the point of that sale was Big Cat passed the ball, and it was not about that sale. It was the point of it.
Right.
And you kept saying this.
So, and Felix, first of all, Felix was sold it.
Yeah.
Like he was sold it maybe for $4,000. I don't know. But at the end of the day, when I look at a team, what's that?
No discount.
Yeah. None. No. Okay, is that coming out of your paycheck? So, the way I look at it is, I've been a basketball player. Our rule was always, if you get a steal and you got a guy in front of you on your team, but you can either go make the layup yourself, or you can pass to your teammate who can dunk it.
Correct.
And it's like, what's gonna get you more hyped?
Yeah.
Passing the ball and letting someone slam that. Right. The crowd is going crazy. Your team's going crazy. It deflates the defense. So I'm looking at it like, that's more fun. That was more fun for me. That was probably more fun for you.
It's great.
You know, these guys eventually have more fun. I'd take me and Felix went for a little walk down Zam, but he understands we all share it. But it's there's nothing, as Todd said, there's nothing better than teamwork that makes the dream work. You know, and if you're not going to tag team voluntarily, that's when, you know, we said Big Daddy steps in.
Big Daddy.
So that's when he steps in and makes it happen.
Okay, so I want to chime in on that because, I think we're talking about the candles right now, and that's what we're talking about, right? Well, the tag team, power second voice, slam dunk, and the thing. But I want to go a little bit deeper than that because for me, and I know 100% why Quinn was doing it, and you were questioning there. It wasn't for the $3,600 bucks.
Mm-hmm.
It was for the 911,000.
Yeah, 100%.
It wasn't for the 3,600. It was for the 911,000. Because he knows, gosh darn well, I was going to sell it. He knows what JT was going to sell it. He knows Donnie would have gone there to sell it. He would have gone in there and sold it because he went anybody. Right. It was for the 911,000. It was for what we started the theme of this is the constant chasing of the crown, the constant to be better. So Felix, you're looking here, but I'm looking here.
Mm-hmm.
And so he never misses an opportunity to tweak the team, to call an audible, to make it better because he's got a championship mindset. That's what he came from. And so at times your players don't understand it, right? Because they're running down the court and they're sweaty and they're twisting their ankle and they don't understand it. And they you called the play for them a second ago and now it's right. And so it's times they're having a puff and you just don't get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you breathe and don't react on emotion, and then you understand it's for the 911,000.
Like you're about to shoot the three and you got, Wembanyama in your face and you're probably going to make it because you're stud and you got Shaq under the goal and it's like pass the ball. Mm-hmm. It's more the principle.
Correct.
And Mike said this, he was like, it's more the principle. If I don't make them execute the concept, run the play, when I'm here, how do I know that when I'm not here, because you're overseeing multiple units now, that they're going to run the play? It's like more, and Greg Popovich, Spurs coach, talks about this all the time. He's like, I don't even care if the ball goes in as long as the shot was a good shot. Mm-hmm. It's an open look. It's Nick Saban talks about this process-oriented thinking. He's like so not concerned with the outcome. He thinks probabilistically. It's like, what is the optimal process? And as long as we stick to the process, the numbers will take care of themselves. So it's like the process yields 911K, and I'm not going to allow Big Cat to deviate from this process, even though it'll probably work out this one time. Because at the end of the day, if I allow that to keep happening, 911K doesn't happen. So you're exactly right.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys have seen like ESPN where Phil Jackson is talking about Kobe and Shaq. And he's telling Kobe in a game multiple times, hey, pass the big fellow the ball, you're losing him. Mm-hmm. Pass him the ball, you're losing him. Guess what happened? He didn't pass him the ball. Guess what? They lost him. Yeah. Guess what? Lakers didn't win championships for years. Guess who did though? Shaq in Miami. Yeah. Right? So like that's what can happen. This is the greatest team ever assembled in auto repair. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to lose this. Like this is something special. This may never happen again. You don't know. But at the end of the day, we're passing the ball because we're not losing Shaq. Correct. So I don't know if you guys know that story, but that's why Shaq left is because Kobe didn't pass the ball. So we passed the ball here. Yeah.
That's freaking sick. Yeah. It's one of my favorite episodes, Master Tech to Millionaire. I think we're up on time, but congratulations, you guys, one more time on all-time $900,000 list. Yeah. Well, we will see you guys next time. Come into Courtside. Shameless plug. Watch these guys live in action. We're going to do a 50 burger today. We're live in the shop today. Next stop, 1 million?
Well, I think we're going to have part 2 when they release the P&L on the 300K. Oh, yeah. Just that'll be the trash talk one, though.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you next time. Good up with these guys.
For more information, reach out to Todd Westerland at 925-980-8012 or visit AutoShopAnswers.com. You can get more information about key-to-key-to callbacks, Courtside. We have a VIP Rack Attack Day where you spend an entire day in the trenches with our team, learning this perfected business model. We offer leadership classes. We have an AI Academy, and also get more information about Auto Shop callbacks. We have auto tech training. We are literally your one-stop shop. Once again, that number for Todd Westerland is 925-980-8012.